Hi, my name's Evan Hodges. I'm a film and mixed media composer based out of Atlanta, Georgia. I'm so excited to be here today to talk with you guys about film scoring. The goal of these videos is to educate up-and-coming composers as well as to inspire musicians to become film composers. I don't have any formal training in film scoring. I actually have a degree in jazz studies, and I switched over to scoring back in 2014-15, and I went full-time about 2 years ago. So each week I'm going to show a different scene from a project that I've worked on, be it a documentary, feature film, or narrative film, a short film, or a corporate videos, any other kind of vignettes or smaller pieces. The first piece we're going to look at today is actually from a commercial that I did earlier this year with a director based out of Atlanta. And the cool thing about this piece is it's for a furniture company. But it's cool because it shifts between different eras of music. So the music actually hard cuts pretty quick from section to section. And so the director gave me a temp track, and I went from that temp track to create the score. What we're going to do now is we're going to watch the little video, and then we're going to pull up a session, and I'm going to show you kind of the sections broken down and how I made those sounds. So let's get to work.
Here we have a 1950s American shopper. Ah, the pleasure of purchasing without ever entering a store. You see, the ways in which we shop have always been evolving. Tuning in to the latest advancements in technology to bring the things that we love to buy closer and closer into our daily existence. As time marched forward and the internet brought new possibility, how we shop was poised to change at a faster pace than ever before, which it did at first, until it stopped. Now is the time for a customer experience revolution. With augmented reality, we can finally do more than just see a product. We can experience it within our own lives. What's next in online shopping is happening now.
Get there today with Seek.
So, as you can tell, this cue is broken up into 5 kind of parts, 4 scored parts, and then 1 kind of sound design rumble situation. So the first section is the 60s section. And actually, before I jump even into that point, this is Logic, which is a DAW that I use to score in. I've used it for 5 or 6 years now. I use it pretty much every single day. So I like to think of a DAW as like a big canvas where you can paint and kind of throw colors onto it. So, you know, you could throw instruments in there, and you can do VST, which are virtual instruments, and you can do audio instruments, which like your voice or drums or synthesizers or guitars, anything with a microphone or an input jack. So you can blend those two together to kind of make sounds. So and if you look up here, so this is like my timeline if you're like an editor or anything like that. And so I have different sections kind of color coordinated. So this is the 60s theme, I have the 80s theme, the 90s theme. This middle section I didn't put anything in, and then the modern theme, which technically should be color coordinated. Sorry about that, I'm a little OCD. But if you notice, I have meters for different sections, and then I also have tempo changes for different sections, because obviously not everything is the same tempo. So this first chunk is the 60s section. So I've got a kind of like a xylophone sample, a guitar because I was too lazy to track guitar. I've got some drums and then some vocals and a bass guitar. So here it goes. And here's the video up here. Cool. So in the actual recording, I actually bounced it down. It's down here. And I've got like a record jump because the director wanted that to jump into the next section. So to listen to it with voiceover, here's what it sounds like. And I'm going to kind of show you some different kind of sounds here in regards to my MIDI and what I'm playing. So we're in the key of B flat major. Okay. So it goes B flat major. And then you'll see.
Here we have a 1950s American shopper. Ah, the pleasure of purchasing without ever entering a store. You see, the ways in which we shop have always been evolving.
So then we go to the next section. So the cool thing about this is it actually had a really cool sequence, but I had to cut it down quite a bit because the director wanted to shorten it, which is what happens when you get like non-edited locks. So I had some really cool slick ways to get to a new key change, but I had to kind of improvise. So the song is this chunk is in B flat major, okay? So we're chilling in B flat major, and then we're gonna go to essentially B flat minor. So we're making that B flat minor, and then we're going to E flat to A flat, so a 2-5, okay? And then we do another 2-5. Ah, crap. And sorry about that. We do another 2-5, and then we end up in our final key, which is C major. So we're essentially going, we're essentially just jumping from B flat to C to our next key, which is C minor.
Tuning in to the latest.
So obviously we're in the 80s now. Hello 80s. So we're just gonna kind of play through this a little quick here. So we've got a bass, which is my OB6, which I can play in a second, and I've got some glides with the OB6 as well, and then just kind of like a basic drum groove, and then we go straight into our 90s, which is actually all on the bass guitar, surprisingly. So this cool sound right here is just a regular patch from the OB6. So everything on this cue is pretty much just one synthesizer, which is the OB6, and then I've got, like I said, some drums, which is just a little basic drum pattern that I made in Logic. So I've got like essentially just toms. Lots of toms and hi-hats. And then after that, we jump into our 90s theme, which is just straight up 90s. So if you notice, before then, everything was the same tempo. So we drop our tempo. So it's an immediate drop. And the cool thing about this one is there's a pause for kind of a comedic effect.
Marched for... Oh dear. As time marched forward and the internet brought new possibility.
So this is my crude attempt at Smells Like Teen Spirit. So now there's this kind of sound design section here. So if you notice, it's not really on a grid. It's just more or less, it's more or less just kind of tone and texture. And so here is when it kind of comes on the grid. Boom. So you see how if you look at the frame, it's almost on the frame. He kind of had to manipulate a little bit. If you notice, it's like maybe a couple frames off. But if you notice that the highlight point of this piece is rising to this boom. this chair hit. So I essentially just kind of made a pad out of this guy right here and moved it around a little bit. And so this VST by itself, this is an Arturia plugin. Hence the name Arturia on the middle of the synth. So, you know, it's not really doing a lot in regards to harmony. It's just kind of creating this kind of lush pad. And if you notice, we have my favorite bass in the entire world, the Minimoog bass. It's super low, right? See that big waveform? That's so deep. Oh, love it. Lots of analog love on this channel. There's a couple other things going on here at the top. There's kind of a swoosh that, like a sub thing that I made to kind of trail us out of that dystopian-esque sound into this new section here. And I have a couple other pads and things like that. So we have snares. And if you notice, my snares are on 2 and 4, by the way, which is like a common music production pop thing. So we have that little thing. And the melody is on, oh, and the bass is actually not it's actually a Logic plugin. It just sounded so cool. And here's the melody. So I'm running it through an Eventide plugin and for my H9. So all these pieces kind of together to come and make it. So like I said, we've kind of got this 60s thing. And I'll show you this last chunk right here, which I told you earlier. I put a little record drop in there, right here. So that's kind of what signals into this next section right here. So I hope that was somewhat informative for you all. I'm really excited that we're starting this new series together. And if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to link those below. And if you have any questions, you can reach me through my website, which is in the description. And please subscribe, ring the bell, and I'll see you guys next week.